Bonjour à tous et à toutes, bienvenue sur Congo 26 TV. Nous sommes le 19 juin 2026. L'actualité d'aujourd'hui, c'est juste que nous avons reçu un invité qui va donner aussi son opinion, son idée sur la colonisation ou bien l'exploitation, même le leadership en République démocratique du Congo. Et donc, nous allons changer un peu, nous n'allons pas parler en français ou bien en swahili, ou bien en lingala, ou encore Congo Tiluba. Donc nous allons le faire en anglais. C'est un monsieur qui est bien spécialisé en anglais. Et donc, avant de commencer notre show, comme d'habitude, je vais tout d'abord lui faire un petit temps en fait de se présenter devant l'audience de Congo 26 TV. Mr. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for
Good, everybody over there.
Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Oh, the viewers at home, they want to hear you. Can you just tell your name?
I'm Gabriel.
Okay.
I'm a Congo born.
Okay.
But in many times I've shifted countries from my younghood, my childhood.
Okay.
I live like in exile, I can say. Not exile as if I was running away from like being a politician exile, but as a refugee.
Okay.
But I've been in South Africa for quite some time when I went to university and then I studied geology.
Okay.
But after studying geology, I became kind of interested in understanding data. So I'm doing data science. So from what I'm understanding, I'm really learning about my country, politics, in any sectors. So I see like I shouldn't be here where I am.
Okay.
Yeah. So that has forced me to dig deeper into our political system. What needs to be changed.
Okay. So what influenced you to look in politics? What is motivating you?
You know,
is it a life you're living? As you are in abroad, you are in a foreign land. Maybe life is quite hard. That is pushing you.
Absolutely, life is quite hard for everybody, and there's never been a place like home. You know,
okay.
They always say like home is always be home.
Okay.
Yeah, and being away and then learning how resources that we have compared to other countries, how we should have been, and then seeing how my country is. So that has made me like, no, this is impossible. All that we have, and then we're like in a gray list, let's say politically, economically. That is like, no. You know, it's like I've been asked by somebody telling me, what would you vote in the DRC if you're in the DRC? 10 years back, I said, no, I don't like politics. And they said, no, you're doing that's the biggest mistake. Even if you might not be in the front line, but at least you should know why are you voting, who you voting. What is the person going to bring as change? You get my point? So that has been like thinking in my head. I'm saying like over 10 years ago when I heard that. So it's only like a few years back I started becoming more political and then trying to understand, nah, if I don't do anything, and imagine every Congolese doesn't do anything, that means we allow the country to be as it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, as a Congolese, you're speaking English, and I think like a DRC, we are a Francophone country, we're not Anglophone country. How you think the message you wanna, or the contribution, because it's just actually, you just give it an idea, it's just your view. How do you think people gonna hear this while we don't speak English? Is it, you're supposed to be doing it either in French or in Swahili, Lingala, Congo? How do you think they're gonna hear you?
That's a good point. Okay. I'm not Swahili.
Okay.
I come from Swahili side.
Okay.
I speak French, but not as fluently as I can speak English right now.
Okay.
That's the point. I studied French, like, I finished my high school, I should say, over 20 years now. And then I hardly speak French. And then I'm not feeling like more fluent in French. In any message, Lingala, I can speak Lingala too, but not in like conveying a message. So I see like English, the way that I see, I'm more comfortable.
It's better for you. Okay. So now, you said you've been, in your introduction, you said you've been in how many countries you have crossed already?
Okay, it's like I live in Burundi. Burundi is like as if you're home.
Okay.
Yeah, I live
More
in
like the
Burundi.
DRC.
Yeah, it's more than like for quite a number of years there. Yeah, in Rwanda, but in South Africa, it's like I passed all my youth now. I can say I'm 40 plus, but I've been in the early 20s.
Okay. What then, you being from DRC, actually, when you look at DRC, you look Burundi, you look Rwanda, I think those countries, they seem like to be like closer to each other, they're bonding with each other, right?
Yeah.
And you shifted to South Africa. South Africa, I think you may be passing through Zambia, am I right?
Absolutely.
Zimbabwe
I've experienced
and South Africa.
I've been all there.
So, yeah, according to your observation, what have you seen difference between, just by looking, by the look, between those countries like Francophone countries and English countries?
Let's say as in Burundi, once I was in Burundi, I could see the leadership, let's say, how the country was. You know, Burundi is smaller.
Yeah, it's a small country,
okay. But you could have tar road, even some rural area, though it's smaller, but in type of Congo, that's totally different.
Okay.
Because I've experienced, like, I've walked like 350 kilometers for 7 days in Congo. I have that experience, so not something I'm just telling the story, no. I've walked that for 7 days.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've seen, though they are small, and it's easy to have a clean infrastructure, like not just clean, but to manage infrastructure into rural area compared to Congo is so massive land.
Okay.
But I've seen they are better than Congo in many contexts.
Okay, they're better than DRC.
Than DRC economically and okay, you know when I say economically, but we have resources, but the resource that's not really portrayed to population. It's a resource that's just theoretically, and it's there really, but it's not the resource that we are really living in and getting benefit out of it.
Okay. So you mean the colony, according to you, those who colonize Burundi, like your neighbor with DRC, right? And those who colonize Rwanda, you mean they're different from the colonizers of DRC?
If we can get deeper from what I learned, if I remember from high school, and Rwanda and Burundi are part of the, I'm not correct, you correct me if I'm wrong, at some point they were like, and the Germans at some point, if I'm not quite sure, I need to revise those notes. Yeah, but after that they came.
It was given to.
Okay, to Belgium, I don't know. Okay, but for them I can see like the way the country is being governed, it's based on their size. I can say that. It's not necessarily because we have different colonizer. I cannot just mention because Rwanda had Belgium, Germans, and then Congolese at Belgium, so we are like as we are because of Belgium. Not necessarily the case.
Okay. So you mean, according to you, the current situation in DRC, does it reflect our colonies or our colonizers?
Okay, I need to get deeper to that to answer that question. Okay, when we talk about the situation in Congo to reflect our colonizer, like we talk about administrative way or economic?
No, you just look at the structure of the entire country, the way it's organized politically, economically, even socially, even in terms of development. Just take put it like in one thing. When you look at DRC, like, yeah, the way things are looking here, yeah, there is like this kind of similarity with like a French colonizers, or there is like kind of similarity with like English, you know what I mean, colonizers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when you look at the DRC, does it really reflect that Belgium?
Not at all, because I can see we have our own way. Because let's say Belgium has no resources like as we can talk about, but the countries.
But they said Belgium looted DRC.
But they looted like the looting ended almost like half a century.
Yes.
But they still managed what they had back in that time, and still they're still like in a good position.
What they have stolen.
Yeah. But what about us that we have all and we still have? We've been a focal point and we still are where we're going to be, but we're not doing anything. So we're not reflecting. So we have our own way, like no way compared to the colonizer.
Or let me try it this way.
Yeah, maybe try to elaborate the question.
Maybe look at it again like this. do we have, as a Congolese people, do we have a problem with our colony or our colonizers that has a problem? When you look at the DRC, who is the problem? The colony, is it the colonizers or us, like now, the citizen, the so-called citizen of that particular state?
Okay.
Are we the problem? Who's the problem when you look at DRC?
Okay, there'll be a lot to explain about that part. If you can say just post-independence,
Yeah.
we can say it was their problem because we are not really educated in the point like we could be able to govern ourselves.
Okay.
But now from 1960,
Okay.
we have how many doctorates?
Okay.
How many masters
Okay.
in different fields?
Okay.
So now it's become our problem.
It is not.
Now it has become our problem because we have now the qualification to govern ourselves, but we're still like in a messy situation. Now it becomes, but the post-1960, just after independence, we can blame Mobutu, all the leaders, really, they did what they did, but they had no knowledge. Now we can say we have knowledge, but we're still going in the same situation. So it's our problem now.
So tell me, so you mean according to your understanding, we are an independent country?
Yeah.
Are we? Is the DRC independent country?
Yeah,
When you look at it,
for sovereignty,
if you look like how the things happen that side, and when how even the government, even how we actually we getting our leaders, do you believe like we are independent country?
Okay, you mean I need to understand when you talk about we are independent. We depend like in which way, Trunk? We are like we have independence anyway. We can agree when like we declare for independence and we got it.
No, independent, is it?
But maybe in different sectors, like are we population is
No,
electing somebody independently or how?
Just have a look at these two aspects.
Yeah.
Look at politically. Are we politically independent? Economically, are we economically independent? Are we not relying on the so-called colonizers?
Yeah.
Do we really have that power? Our leaders, political leaders, economic leaders and stuff, are they really able to do their own stuff without, being assisted by the masters?
Yeah, we are independent, only we lack the way of being assisted.
Okay, it means we are not independent. Because since Lumumba has been on power for 3 months, right?
Yeah.
And he was killed.
Yeah.
And Lumumba, I think he was democratically elected by the people. He was appointed by the people. Then he couldn't, they never gave him time to do whatever he's supposed to. Okay. Then Mobutu came in, and when you look at Mobutu, the man has been on power for quite some time, a long time. Yeah. But when you look at how he was managing the country, actually it was like in his pocket. He was just like a project manager.
I see.
He wasn't really like, this is the leader who's taking care. This is a leader who's there just to develop his country. But he was doing just what should please him, what he feels was good for him, and he was expecting everyone just to go and claim the hand and just worship him. Now, then we got to this. Laurent Kabila came. Laurent came. The way Laurent came, actually, we didn't know who did send him. He just come on like a picture showing up because he come with foreigners. Yeah. You know what I mean? Then he got killed, went to the son, and the son he did 18 years. So we should say some they believe that the son was being elected, but other they should know like no, he wasn't elected. They imposed as him. Because up to now, there's still people that don't think like this man was not Congolese. You know what I mean? Those kind of issues. Actually, I don't want to talk much about that. Then we get to the current one. Now, when you look at all this, it's more like a process from Lumumba up to Felix, who's the current president. Do you see like any sense? Do you see like any sense of independence? Do you see like any sense of liberation? Or do you see not like any form of political leaders or the style of leadership they provide, how do you link it to our masters? Is there like invisible hands of our masters, or we're just messing up ourselves?
That's a good point. Okay. From independence, Lumumbe came to power, as we just said.
Yes.
And for 3 months he got killed and Mobutu came to power. Okay, Mobutu reigned for 32 years. And then now, that's the part that I need to explain more, because we're missing a point.
Okay.
We're missing a big point.
Okay.
We shouldn't have been where we are today.
Okay.
Okay. Mobutu, at the time when he came to power, that I think we spoke about that at some point, saying, we have leaders, but leaders, they were not ready. That I can say. Post-independence, those who were leading the country, they did not have capability of leaving the massive land like DRC. The knowledge was not there.
Okay. This is after Lumumbe, right?
That even like I'm talking about based on
During
Mobutu
the
time.
Lumumbe generation,
yeah,
let's say that.
Lumumbe generation.
Okay. They didn't have the capacity to lead the state.
They did not have that knowledge.
Okay.
Because let me like give something that really some might agree with me or not, but if you ever watch a Mandela movie, I've watched that movie. Just at the end, almost like 30 minutes to the end, like even 20, de Klerk said, Mandela, they came to power, ANC came to power, 1994. But they were the fighters. They were fighting for liberation. But they did not know how to lead the country. When they came to power, Mandela was now president. But de Klerk said in that part, if you ever have a chance, like go watch that movie, say, but we're the same one leading the country behind us. So you cannot tell me at any point that will be convincing, in a sense that 34 years before, we had that knowledge to lead the country ourselves. So that 1960 to 1994, when de Klerk said that when Mandela came to power. So I don't know, you can tell me like 30 years before, 30 plus, 34 years, we're able to do that in our country. No, that definitely not.
Oh,
watch that movie, because so at some point, well, we watch the same thing, we've been taught the same thing, we read the same thing, but we understand them differently. So on that point, like, I'm so convinced that we are not able to lead ourselves. That's the biggest part. That even the way Mobutu was leading the country, at some point I can give you a question, because like I'm trying to give, we're having a discussion. Mobutu was having all the aid, foreign aid, because of in a partnership with the Americans.
Which is very bad for the country, eh?
No, aid is
it's not good enough, because they always, it comes with a lot of conditionality. And sometimes they do a follow-up, whereby if you're not operating according to their expectation or their needs, they risk, to put the particular person in trouble. So it's not good. But we can appreciate it good, but it's not really, politically it's not good.
Okay. I won't just side with you or like say no completely, but for me, I would say like, the way you govern your country, they don't really much matter. Because at some point, if, as you say, like, foreign aid come with some commitment, some rule you need to follow, but that's not necessarily the case, because in Goma, I'm trying to refer to something like to prove like, no, I'm not really agreeing with you, but maybe I'll try to go deeper and do research, because never say no until there's been this time, the German government wanted to build the road from Goma to Bukavu, about 90 kilometers or somewhere, roughly less than 100. But the government German government wanted to do that, and then to supervise the construction, like to be on top of that. And the Congolese government said, no, we are a sovereign country, you give the money, we will build. And they said no, because they know how the government operates. So you can see, when they put some aid and then they monitor how it works, I think, I don't just say, no, it's bad, but okay, it might be bad at some point, but it depends on the context. Okay, let's back to Mobutu time. Mobutu was getting all the aid, but not using in a proper way. That would make the aid being bad thing. But when you get the aid, when then you use it the way it's supposed to, I don't see that the aid should be a bad thing. And if you talk about leadership, the leadership that came to Kabila until he got killed, the Kabila, the son came, that there was no election, they just appointed. So it's like we don't have any structure. We need to reform our governance, how the body, like the election works. Even from like local community, like local election need to be changed. Like you can't just elect somebody from Katanga being a like commissaire, as we call commissaire, in Kivu. He doesn't know what the need of that population, that neighborhood.
Okay, so you need reform, government reform. How are we going to reform? Are we politically educated?
We are, but one thing that you need to understand, you and I can decide, okay, say, okay, how can you change, like, what structure can we bring to Congo? Like, we can decide, we can not make a decision, we discuss, as we are discussing here. But that's not necessarily the case. We're ending to what you and I decided. We need to ask advisors. Even big, like, let's say America, China, there are some companies that they check for to make, like, when they want to implement a policy. Before they implement a policy, like, it can be economically, military, but they visit, they consult big companies that they're specialized in that domain. So it's not just about you, what you and I will speak here, and then we'll be like, no, okay, we decide, let's do this, and then we can shift the Congo from where it is.
Okay, no, I got you. So, how are we going to reform the government, or how can the state change while as a citizen, as original citizen, right? Actually, there is no change in us. Because when you look at DRC, right?
Okay.
I just feel more like when you look at the impact of masters, the colonizers, the colony, you will think, or you will maybe like reflect like, no, this country here, it's colonized in a wrong direction. They can colonize you in the right direction. But when we look at DRC, we are colonized in a wrong direction. Number one, what are we doing? Our politics, we don't understand it ourselves. And maybe that's why they always impose us, the leaders, right? As you said, like Kabila, when you look at Kabila, the way he comes, actually they trick us, and they make him Mr. We, and they made him like someone new, like it was still in the package. He didn't know anything, but he could be able to lead the country. And as people, we accept him without any reference. No one did know where he come from. No one did know where he studied. No one did know his name. No one had an idea where he did grow up. And just like one night, you're like, no, this is the guy, and he's gonna be your president. And as Congolese, we just accept it, yeah, it's our own, he's gonna be a president, and the man, we just put him in public office. He's a sitting president. And now he messed up. By messing up, we were believing that the man is gonna develop, the man is gonna take care of the country, but which the man didn't. And somebody should tell you now, he did something. But according to my, like,
people don't see far. People don't see far. Yeah.
I don't think like he did something.
I see the same thing.
Yes. Now, if you're telling us like we have to reform, how are we going to reform while ourselves we're not yet able to see what is wrong and what is good for us? We don't actually who is a good leader and who is not a good leader. Yet we cannot choose our own the leader, because the leaders, actually DRC, the DRC leaders, most of them, they are people who just come just from nowhere, like just like from the vacuum, and like this is a leader. How are we going to reform it? Because ideologically we have no ideology. When also you look at what I may call organization, we are not organized. We have political parties which actually are just there, right? They're not sure of what they're doing. When you look at what their ideology, when you look at their plan, their vision, they got no idea. So we're just like in one thing, we're just moving on top of each other, doing nothing. how are we going to reform a government with this thing? Because reforming government, I think like you have to have a structure. You have like a start from the foundation. You build a little bit, a strong leadership. With it. That was, I don't know if you remember this man, yeah, Pierre Mlele. Sorry, I'm talking too much. Pierre Mlele, this guy, he was fighting with Lumumba. They were in the same struggle. Then when they killed Lumumba, he went to exile. Yes, he went to China. He visited China, Yugoslavia at that particular time. It was like long ago. Yes, he wanted to see how they have changed and how they have reformed their governments. When the men come back, he wants now to organize not the country, but the people before organizing the country. Also, he got killed. And now, as you're saying, we have to reform. How are we going to reform it? Because we don't have any foundation. How is it going to happen?
Yeah, that's a good point you're talking about. You know, as you just referred to, Mulele Ken went to China, and then he saw how people they are trying to structure their country because they are trying to be communist. They wanted they are advocating communism.
Yeah.
So when we came, he started war. So that he saw the way that to win the masses was just through war, and that's the dangerous thing that this contemporary world we shouldn't think about war, but we need to enlarge people. We need to have message that will touch people. Like, let's say, M23 trying to see like the only way to fight with Kisekedi, we should go through war. People are dying, man. Let's see. Look how many people, because, you know, we just hear the news and people are losing lives. But it's like there's never been a message that will change a Congolese mind.
So how are you going to, that's my question, how are you going to do it?
I'm saying I'm studying data.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like they say, when you understand data, there's a lot of things you can do at your advantage. And then you are saying it, you understand things differently. Because for me, what I can say right now, we don't need like to join, let's say, join the government, because definitely if you join the government, like even if you've been given a post, you're also gonna operate as the government works. So you cannot bring any change because the change needs to start from the top.
What is operandis? Yeah.
So the point is like we need a new youth. Like we need to preach. Like let's say you're an atheist, you don't believe in God, you don't believe like anything. Like if they just preach it today, okay, Jesus Christ was like, or Muhammad did this. At the first time, you don't just believe instantly. Okay. It takes time. Okay. So we need like to study. Which message are you gonna bring to our Congolese? So they keep me awake to see, is this the way? War, really, you can see war is a way of like, when you got frenzy, you see like no option, but they've got to be a message. I can give you an example, let's say for Senegal. The Osman Sonko and his men there, but they came to power, but there wasn't war. There was like tribulation here and there, trial here, but there was no war. So it's like, we need to study. It's like, I'll invite my other Congolese. There's a way, there's got to be a way. When you say there's no way, like, you haven't studied enough, or maybe you haven't, because in anything, based on, like, the way position Congo is, we need to understand that we are a focal point. Like, all powerful country, they always look at Congo based on its resources. But we need to use that. But not to use in the sense that collateral or anything, but to use like which influences we need. How should we structure? So we go there, not like to join the governing government, to implement something new. And then from that, we need institutions, like independent institutions.
You touched on Osman Sonko, good. So it means here we have a problem of colonizers. We have a problem of colony.
Yeah, okay. For me, right now, I can say we have a problem with colonies in a sense that...
Do you believe we have to call them and the colonizers? As Trump usually say, like Africa still needs to... Recently I had this guy here, the vice president of... the vice president of America, I think, yeah. I heard him some other time, he was
J.D. Vance,
yeah. I think so. I think not the vice president should be the secretary, yeah, state secretary, Marco Rubio. Yeah, I think it's Marco Rubio. He says they are in the process currently, they're thinking to take some countries, some African countries, those who fail to lead themselves. Maybe they can try to recolonize them, to rebuild them, and then once they see like they have gone, or they have learned, or they matured enough to lead themselves, then they can leave them. Now, my point here, you say Ousmane Sonko. Ousmane Sonko, because those guys also, they speak French.
Yeah.
Indians will speak French. Mm-hmm. But look at us in DRC and look at them. As you said, the men went on power through election, right? Through peaceful means. As in DRC, most of the time when you want to get power, actually you need like through violence. Mm-hmm. Only Felix who tried to come with like a peaceful means, but also it was like a transaction of power. Mm-hmm. But also, yeah, we know how it happened.